Well, the Constitution is clear, and that, of course, is the supreme law of the land, that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. So I would say that's an option we're actively looking at. Look, a lot of it depends on whether the courts do the right thing or not.
Hey folks, it's Jack, and today we're taking a stroll through the wildflowers of authoritarianism. So here's the latest. Trump henchman Stephen Miller made a statement saying his boss, the President of the United States, should be actively looking at suspending habeas corpus. You know, that little thing in the Constitution that protects you from being thrown in jail without a charge? Yeah, apparently that's now optional. If Stephen Miller doesn't like how the courts are ruling, let me just pause right there. We're not talking about some arcane legal loophole or niche judicial procedure. This is foundational. Like day one of law school foundational. Even the Confederacy didn't get this far with it. Well, the Constitution is clear, says Miller, which is rich, because if the Constitution were a roommate, Miller would be the guy constantly stealing their stuff and then saying, technically, it's community property. The administration already used the Alien Enemies Act, a law from 1798, because apparently we're doing originalist cosplay now, to deport over 230 people without due process to El Salvador. Where, fun fact, they're now sitting in jail without charges. You know, just good old American values being exported abroad. Freedom fries not included. And if you're thinking, well, surely the courts will stop this, I have some news. Trump's literally ignoring a Supreme Court ruling. They told him to return a man to the US after an unlawful deportation, and he just didn't. We're no longer just bending the rule of law, we're treating it like a carnival balloon animal. But hey, maybe if we call it economic populism enough times, everyone will just forget the Constitution exists. Look, I know immigration is complicated. I get the fear. But weaponizing the language of invasion to justify suspending civil liberties is not just wrong, it's dangerous. It sets a precedent that doesn't stop with immigrants. These tools never do. So if you're feeling like maybe suspending 800 years of legal precedent should come with more than a shrug and a press gaggle, hey, you're not alone. Like, subscribe, and share this if you think our democracy should at least be harder to throw in the dumpster. And maybe call your representatives, just in case they forgot what habeas corpus is. Thanks for listening, folks. I'm Jack, and this has been my reasonable reaction. See you next time. Assuming we're not all in a habeas-free holding cell by then. Love now.